Everybody, happy Monday. Glad you're here. Hopefully you're not in the middle of Snowmageddon like we are here in the Midwest.
Gross.
2 inches of snow.
I'm not. That part's nice. I'm not.
It's not supposed to snow till after Thanksgiving. It's like my birthday's the official, like, it can snow date. That's usually what I told my students when I taught school. Like,
Got it.
If Roman's birthday comes in, we may get a snow day. Maybe for my birthday, maybe not.
Got it.
But it's early, man. It's going to be
early.
low tonight. It's going to be freezing.
What's the low?
11.
Ugh.
I know. Wind chill's going to be below zero, like right at zero.
Barf. God.
Treadmill tomorrow at the Recplex.
This is why I
And
moved.
yesterday it was 66 and I ran in shorts. Crazy.
This is why I moved south. Yeah.
66 ran in shorts. It's going to be a zero wind chill tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
What's
gross.
wrong with this? Hey,
That's
Rhonda
gross.
Lee. Hey, Chad. Hey, Amy. Yay, snow. Oh, no, snow is kind of fun, though, especially when you work from home now. Now, my wife's driving on ice on the highway, calling me all the time, freaking out. So now I'm freaking out because we just bought a new car. And that's the last thing I want is like her to wreck it before we even made the first payment.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That would be bad. Very, very bad.
I mean, it's supposed to be a good car in the snow. It's one of those Blazers. Because we had a Trailblazer, which they don't make anymore. So we had to get just a Blazer.
Yeah.
Blazer. In the commercial, it's like, that's the hot mom car or something they said.
Okay.
So that's why we got it for Pam.
Got it.
Mike Bankhead in the house. What's up, Mike?
What up, Mike Bankhead?
Go Tigers. See, it would all work out. When you guys were number 5, I was like, no problem. You'll probably be like number 2 next week. Everything happened. All right. So we're going to do questions and we're going to talk about making the most of your resort. Or if you have a great idea for a podcast, put it in the chat. We may switch.
We might.
We might.
If you've got an idea, we might take it.
Laughing at us because she's up in Minneapolis. Prince.
Gross.
All right, let's do this. I got a question queued up.
Oh, good.
Let's see.
Good for you.
Put this down here. Close. I can't close that.
No, don't do that.
Hang on.
Stop making that noise.
Well, the problem is this thing keeps switching the volume on, like the default.
Oh.
I gotta babysit it because, like, right now it's at 93. It was at 50, and so like it jumps around, and then the recording gets all messed up. Which I can't get it to.
I wonder why.
I don't know. It's picking up sound from somewhere, and I can't figure out where. Is it because that one's open? Can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay. I had the MacBook channel open. I don't know if that matters because it's not hooked up. Oh, stop. Oh, hang on.
Ding.
This thing's bugging me. How can I?
I better do this so I don't lose my shoes.
I podcast shoeless.
Well, I was moving a box, and because I have all the auction stuff here, and I was moving a box and my shoes were under the box, and I knew that I would like lose them underneath my couch if I didn't put them away. So
All right, we'll figure this out. All right, let's do it. Here we go. 1563. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1563 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for checking in. More of your listener questions headed your way. You send them in to Mike at BeOurGuestPodcast.com or post them here on the live Facebook chat, and we have some fun Disney discussion for the next 35 or 40 minutes. Love this stuff. Can't wait to get to it. Joining me today from down in the ATL and also from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less, we have Rikki. Rikki, you have a very flowery dress going on today.
it's a. Oh wait.
I don't know. Hang on. I do not even have this running, so let me load this up. It's that same person, so I'm going to start this over again. Let me make sure I'm logged out of Skype. Hang on here. And the fun starts. Okay, so we're out of Skype. Now we're going to try that again. It's always that 407 area code.
Don't say that. I'll change it again.
Okay, I'll check something while I'm doing this real quick. I got a hair. Okay. It's like we've never done this. Okay, let's try it again.
No,
Damn, that was a pretty good one.
that was. It's all right.
Hell, I should have been like, hello, this is Domino's.
Oh my god, it would have been bad.
I'm going to watch episode 4 Star Wars on
Well, let's talk about it here in a second.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because Wednesday will already been on.
I know, but we can talk about what we watched.
Okay. There you go. I can't believe they don't have the app out yet.
I know. That's what everybody's losing their minds about.
No,
like, seriously.
what are they going to do?
Like, yeah, apparently, I guess they're going to have an app, but like, I have Apple TV, and is it going to show up automatically? Because I have one of the older ones, so like, it's not like we're a place where I can.
App store.
Huh? Yeah, I don't have an app store on it, so is it just going to show up for me? Because I paid for it. So
that's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway.
All right, let's do this. Here we go. Take 2. Don't call. Here we go. God, that was totally my day today. Somebody would call right during the open. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1563 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We always answer your listener questions here on Wednesdays. You send them in to Mike at BeOurGuestPodcast.com or post them here on the live Facebook chat. We have a fun Disney discussion. It can go anywhere. We never know where we're going on these listener question shows. That's why I love them so much. But I can tell you what, we're going to have a good time talking Disney with you today. So joining me today from down in the ATL and also from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less, we have Rikki. Rikki, how's it going today?
It is going good. I am currently, in the binging period of Disney Plus. So that is awesome. And loving it so far. So that's good. I'm so excited about the Imagineering story thing. Like, that's like, I saw that and I'm like, well, there's my money. I've already paid. Like, that was worth the money to me right there. So anything else is gravy to me at this point. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited about Disney Plus.
So I'm just guessing nobody's listening to today's show because everybody is busy streaming. So
correct.
When you hear this one next September, hello. And
yes, exactly.
So the Imagineering thing is kind of your jam. I'm old school. I'm just going to watch episode 4 Star Wars on streaming. Like I have all the discs. I have the Blu-rays. Yeah. But it'll just be easy to just go and have it on anytime I want.
So I have to, one of the first things that I have to do is I have to watch The Little Mermaid. And the reason is, and not the travesty that was on ABC a couple of weeks ago.
Watch it. I watched Twitter. That was more exciting.
I did not watch it. It is on my DVR still. But no, I haven't watched it. But Brian has never seen The Little Mermaid. And yes, exactly. My husband has never seen my favorite movie as, from when I was a child. So, I have to make sure that is rectified. So I have to make sure we see The Little Mermaid because, he's never seen it. So can you believe it? That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like
Disney Confessions, because guess what? I've never seen Snow White. I've never seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
All right. See, there you go.
You watch it. Like when I got invited to that media event when the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train came online, I was trying to do my due diligence and I wanted to watch the movie. You couldn't because it was in the vault. Like I couldn't find the library. I couldn't find a pirated copy. I literally could not find a way to watch that movie. And that, I think that's kind of the beauty of this. I mean, of course you do got to pay to stream, but I mean, it's one of those things like at least access will be there. I was, I really wanted to see that for 2 days before I headed down and I couldn't.
Yeah. And this will make it so much easier for people to see those older movies that, are from the 60s that nobody has really seen, especially those live action ones, like Gus and, there's other the Space Monkey. I don't think that's the right one, but there's one with monkey in space and there's some weird, bizarre Disney movies that you're like, they didn't make that. And then you will see it on Disney Plus now and you'll be like, oh, no, they actually did make that. So you can catch up on all those weird, bizarre movies that you probably never saw back in the day. So I'm excited for that too. I'm
just excited that, working from home, I can have the TV on behind me as I'm working and, I don't have to actively watch things, but I can check out all, Sean's saying things like Apple Dumpling Gang,
yes.
Stuff like that.
You would love the Apple Dumpling Gang. Here's why. It has Don Knotts in that movie, there is Don Knotts, and I think Tim Conway too.
Yes.
So like, it is right up your alley, like Don Knotts and Tim Conway, and I think you will really like that movie. You need to see that one for sure.
I'm all about it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be just, I went all in. I paid for the 3 years, like all at once. And so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll get our reviews. We'll be talking about it on the Facebook page. So drop by facebook.com/BRGuestPodcast. Let us know what you watch first and maybe a hidden gem, because there's so much on there. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the theme park talk, which we do here every day. And Jennifer's got the first question. She says, shorter after hours events equals worth the cost. Hey, BOGP crew, love the podcast and all your fun and helpful insights. I'm traveling to the world in January with my family, and we really want to check out the after hours at the Magic Kingdom for the first time. But I see that all the January dates seem to have shorter hours, with 8 to 11 for the event and a 7 o'clock park entry. Do you think it's worth $130 approximately per adult for the event if it's only for 4 hours? Or should we just go to for a full park day and deal with the crowds and lines? Many thanks, Jen up in the Mitten, which is Michigan. What do you say, Rikki?
I mean, from everything that I hear about the Disney After Hours event, no matter how many extra, if you get an extra hour or not, it's still supposedly very much worth it. Again, I haven't done the Disney After Hours event. It's just never really lined up with when I'm there, because usually I'm there on the weekends, and they don't usually offer Disney After Hours on the weekends because they don't have to. So I haven't been able to really experience it, but from everybody that I've heard that has gone to it, they say it's well worth the money. The park is pretty well dead. And plus you get all you can eat popcorn and soda and, ice cream and stuff like that. So, I still think it's worth it. If that's what you want to spend your money on, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because it's going to be exclusive access. And I think with January, the crowds are down anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think that you could probably get, as efficiency. I wish we had Len here, because he could totally give you a ratio to guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
To minutes. But I think if you really boil it down to mathematics, you probably would get as much done with the one less hour with the less people buying the tickets for a January party as opposed to a summer party.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Less people will be buying the tickets, hopefully. And it should be a good time. I mean, just remember, it can be cold in January, so at night. So make sure you bring the gloves and sweatshirts and stuff like that, and scarves, just because I know I've been there. It's been because as the hours get later, it's gonna drop the temperature. So just make sure you bundle up. I know that's weird to think about right now, but then again, you're sitting there and it's snowing. So I'm
outside my window, 2 inches on the ground. It's not even.
I know. So I just want to remind everybody that it will be a little chilly in those January evenings. So just keep that in mind.
Layers, people. That's
layers. Yeah.
Seriously, because you can take them off, put them on, put them in a locker. It's awesome. I can't believe we're already getting to that time of the year. I mean, we're going to be keeping the bird here in a couple of weeks.
I know.
Think about layers down at Walt Disney World 2 weeks ago. We're worried about just 150 degrees.
Exactly. And now complete turnaround. I mean, I've seen temperatures forecasted for this week, and it's supposed to be a little chilly down there still. So
Christmas. Speaking of Christmas party, you're heading to one this week.
I will be there on Friday. So if you are following along with the BRGS podcast on all of our social media, if you're not, you need to be, because I will be there and I will be posting a ton of content for you all. So I plan on going to the Mickey's Very Merry. I plan on seeing all the Animal Kingdom stuff for the holidays. I am in love with the puppets that they have at Animal Kingdom, and I can't wait to, pet a polar bear, I guess, because they have the polar bears and they have the little penguins and they have a fox that's adorable, and I can't wait to see them all. And I see that the pictures are gorgeous of Dinoland? What? All the lights in Dinoland are
that is pretty sweet looking. I know. I was like, God, is that Dinoland? It looks great.
I know it does. So I'm really excited to see that. And hopefully I want to see the Christmas tree trail. I want to see the gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian and the display at the Contemporary. And y'all, did y'all see that they are putting up a Christmas little cottage in the Wilderness Lodge? So now I have another place I have to try to get to, because I have to get to the cottage at the Wilderness Lodge now. They have I saw that the Beach Club is putting up the carousel right now, made of gingerbread, and it's themed after Peter Pan. Hello. Oh my gosh. So many things I have to try to fit into this weekend. Plus I want to see if I can get over to Hollywood Studios for the holiday decorations at night there, because I love Hollywood Studios decorations. And I have to go pick up my Remy magnet at Epcot, so I've got to swing over there too. So it's going to be a crazy weekend. Be prepared for some fun. So yeah.
From what I've been seeing, the Remy magnet may be your longest line of the trip.
That's what I'm seeing too. It's crazy. So, those Chip and Dale magnets will definitely be the longest line I'll be in at Christmas. So yeah,
it'll be like Black Friday lines for that.
Exactly, and I will gladly wait for it.
There you go. Well, here the next question is for you. It's from Alyssa. She's up in Wisconsin where there's already snow on the ground. Hey, welcome to the club, St. Louis too. She says Moana at the Christmas party. Hey, BOGP crew. One of my dear friends is traveling to Walt Disney World during the first week of December. And while she isn't a podcast listener yet, I'm trying to convert her. Alyssa, please work your magic. We need one more listener. We'd love it.
Yes.
If you can help her with this question, it might just do the trick. She's going down with her husband and their kids, a daughter age 3.5, and twin sons who are almost 2. Oh, God help her. She's going to be busy. They're going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party one night, and her daughter's dream is to meet Moana. Since this is the only chance we know of for her to meet Moana in the parks, is it a party priority? It is a party priority for them. Can you help them out with info on when Moana starts meeting guests, when they should get in line, how long they should be prepared to wait? Thanks so much, Alyssa. All right. This is it, man. We're going to get another podcast listener if you get this one right. So
all right. So I haven't been to the party yet as of the recording of this, but I do know if Moana is the priority, and clearly she is, they need to, as soon as they can get in the park at 4:00, they need to have beeline over to the line where Moana meets. I believe she is meeting in the Enchanted Tiki Room, if I remember correctly. And usually they start meeting like the specialty characters. So you've got Moana, you've got the Seven Dwarves, and you've got Sally and Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. Usually they open those lines a little bit early for party guests. It's not like a set time that they start opening those lines usually. It can be anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30, anywhere in that range usually that they open those. So you want to make sure you are in line right when you can get in the party, and go from there. And then you'll still have to wait, obviously, a relatively long time. But if Moana is the priority, and then that's what you're going to need to do. You could potentially try going later in the evening, but since it's such a priority, I would absolutely say that should be the first thing that you should do.
That's what I'd say. If it's a priority, do it ASAP first thing. I mean, just kind of stalk when they have the line started. I mean, you're gonna have to kill time. But I will say with kids, and I understand we used to do this when we, with Mallory to meet Anna and Elsa when it was like crazy, is that, one parent can kind of hold the spot and the kids can go, just stay in the general area and do their thing and then just bring them back in. I know that, they're 3 and 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not like you're doing it for like adults, you're bringing in 8 kids, 8 adults there to one spot.
And the thing is that, that meet and greet is so popular because Moana doesn't meet any other time. So you're going to have a really long wait no matter when you get in line. So whether you got in line at the beginning of it or if you get in line, halfway through the party or whatever, you're still going to have a very lengthy wait. So I would rather just knock it out right at the beginning. That way you can just really enjoy the rest of the party atmosphere. It's
one of the things that with Walt Disney World that, I think we're all kind of armchair Imagineers and thinking about stuff when it comes to our Disney vacations. And one of the things that I've always thought about for years and years now is, why Disney can't react more quickly in the essence of a character meal with things like Moana and Toy Story characters, because I mean, it seems to me, and I guess there's some reason that they can't do this, but I mean, it seems to me it'd be like printing money if you did a breakfast with Buzz and Woody or a dinner with Moana. I mean, I think that you could find the places. You could rotate out Lilo and Stitch over to Ohana for Moana. Absolutely. You could put the Toy Story characters really anywhere. And it would be like a frenzy. I mean, and it would be sold out immediately for 6 months, 6 years probably. And I think that, I think customer satisfaction would be over the top because you would get those pictures. It's on social media. People love it. I think it's just a win-win-win. I just wonder because I'm not privy to the process. It just seems like it'd be a no-brainer.
No, I agree with you. Sometimes I think that Disney makes some weird choices, and that's one of them. I still don't know why there's not a Toy Story or Pixar character meal. I've been saying it for years that they should have one. Matter of fact, I think that, they're putting in the Rodeo Roundup barbecue restaurant in Toy Story Land. Like, why are there not going to be characters in there? I mean, so far it seems like they're not putting characters in there. I don't know why they wouldn't. It seems like, again, such a no-brainer. Like, duh, why not put Woody and Jesse and Buzz and, and Bo Peep, and you've got a great character meal right there. And Moana would fit in so well. All they would have to do is switch out, Lilo and probably Stitch at the breakfast at Ohana, and I mean, that would be so easy.
Just add her to Lilo and Stitch if you have to. I mean, you know what? Just have them all. I mean, it'd be crazy. Pulled out like nobody's business.
But that's not the story. I don't know. But then Lilo and Stitch is meeting with Mickey, and you're right. I mean, but you've got two stories going on there, so I don't know if they can mix the stories. And maybe that's why it's just Moana. I mean, they could have Maui. They have a really good Maui costume.
I kind of look like him.
So, yeah, you look just like him. They have a really good Maui.
Welcome.
Is it in Tokyo or it's somewhere? It's one of the foreign parks that they have a really good Maui option. So I don't know why they don't have. I don't know why.
I ran behind Maui in the Princess Half Marathon. That dude was hauling. For as big as he was, he looked just like him, man. I'm not kidding. Like, it was
awesome.
I'm like, dude, I can't even give up Maui. I'm just turning my sneakers. It was ridiculous.
My coworker dresses up as a different version of The Rock every year for Halloween, and he has done Maui before. So I told him this year he needed to dress up as The Rock from Jungle Cruise, but since it hasn't come out yet, he's like, I don't know anybody know who this is. So I said, okay, next year, dress up as The Rock.
Gotta wait. Yeah, and that's another one I'm going to be watching on Disney Plus. Gotta check it out.
What? The Jungle Cruise?
Moana.
Oh, Moana. Wait. You ever seen Moana?
No, I haven't seen many of the. I haven't even seen Toy Story 4 yet, so I know I'm dropping because Toy Story is my favorite Pixar movie. But they're too emotional. I can't watch them.
Toy Story 4 is pretty.
3, I'm still going to therapy over Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 4, I think will get you. Yeah, knowing you. Yeah.
All right, Bethany's got a question here in the live chat. We're going down at the end of February, and the day we get to Disney, there's a Villains Night. Am I totally crazy for wanting to go to Villains Night after driving down from North Carolina that day? Okay, not crazy. Nope. Maybe some kind of villain, mean person because you won't go meet the villains so bad, but that's between you and yourself. Here's the thing I worry about with hard ticket events on arrival days. You buy that ticket, you are obligated. You've paid the money, you're not getting the money back. If you get a flat tire or if something happens on the road, God help us that it won't happen, but it's kind of iffy, even if you're flying down, which you're driving, but if you're flying, your flight's delayed. I always get nervous about buying a hard ticket event for that arrival day, just for the fact that if you have any kind of travel delays, you're out the money. That's one thing I say.
No, they could buy it if it's still available. When, they arrive. So that's an option. So that way you make sure you're there. And and that way you can feel out the temperature of how you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because after making those drives like that, sometimes you feel ready and raring to go. And sometimes you're just like, nope, I'm done. So I feel like if you waited and then bought the ticket that night, then that might be the better option for you. Don't buy it ahead of time. Just buy it that night. Because I don't know if those after hours events are selling out. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really seen anybody post that they are, but then again, that doesn't mean that they're not selling out because I know that they only allow a really limited amount of people. So,
this is kind of how I roll. What I would do is I would wait, and if it's meant to be and it's not sold out and I get there, I'd go and buy the ticket, but I wouldn't buy it ahead of time. If it sells out, I'd be like, that wasn't meant to be.
Agreed.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I got then I think I got another $120 in my pocket and I can spend that some other way during my vacation and do something else. It's like a treat.
That's true. Yeah.
And a shout out to Mindy Fogg in the live chat. 2 days until her first Walt Disney World visit. Christmas party next week. Have a blast. So glad you're there. All right. Next question from the inbox. It's from Elenia. And she says, hello, Rikki and Mike. My family and I'll be staying at Art of Animation in the Little Mermaid rooms. The little ones will need to nap during the day. Just like a little one too. I wasn't even on naps. Which mermaid rooms are the quietest? Can you hear the Skyliner from the rooms? Thank you. She says she's the mom planner. Here's the good news. Okay, so as you're going to Art of Animation, the Little Mermaid rooms are down on the far end. They're off to themselves. And really there's really not going to be a loud mermaid room. what I would ask for in this case, and I don't think it's even going to matter, but I would ask for one that's not facing the pool, because there is a pool in that area. So if you were to get, say, a room on the ground floor facing the pool, that would be your loudest room in the mermaid section. I would ask for one that's away from the pool and not on the first level. Skyliner is absolutely stealth. It's sneak. You wouldn't hear it. Like, it's crazy quiet.
No, it's true.
It's not
so
matter.
Quiet.
Yeah, that's not an issue at all.
No. Like, you're in the Skyliner and you're like, this is ridiculously quiet.
You do not hear it, because I run that loop all the time when I stay at Pop, and like, it's right over your head, and I mean literally like 20 feet above your head, and you don't even hear it. You hear a little doo-doo-doo. It's got a little sound, like a little doo-doo-doo when it makes an announcement. I need that for my text message.
I mean, half the time it wasn't working while I was there, because I was there on the first day, so I missed out on a lot of the announcements and stuff like that. So I just really had a quiet ride because it wasn't working half the time. So
you had a quiet ride?
Quiet ride, not riot.
Come on, feel the noise. All right, next question in the live chat's from Stephen Andrew. He says, I'll be at Walt Disney World in a couple of weeks for a bonus trip. Is there nothing? Bonus trips are awesome.
Yes.
God, I need a bonus, Pam. Forrester, bonus Christmas. Is there a way to see some of Epcot Forever without a park ticket?
Ooh.
Ghost Rider, the pattern.
I mean, maybe a few of the fireworks, but there aren't that many fireworks in the show, so
yeah, there's not so much. You really can't see anything unless you're in the park.
I mean, you could probably see a few of the higher fireworks. You're not going to be able to hear the music. So, and the only place you can maybe see them is, at, the Epcot, the loop back, by the International Gateway. And then you can see the fireworks from like maybe the Grand Casino Tower, or like the lounge up there, the Dahlia Lounge.
Yeah. Or you take a Skyliner ride right at the right time.
There's that too. Yeah, that's an option. I mean, there are ways to be able to see the fireworks, maybe a little bit. But you're not going to be able to hear the music for sure.
No. That's good. All right. Next question is from Kathy in the inbox. Says 50th anniversary. Good morning. I'm a fairly new listener and heard your podcast today and heard how you love 6th grade teachers and hope the same applies to 2nd grade teachers. Okay. Let me just take a break here. Yes. I student taught in 2nd grade. My first year of teaching was in 2nd grade.
Is that the picture I sent you?
What? I Wedgwood Elementary.
Wrong picture.
No, that was when I was a student teacher in 6th grade at Barrington. That was great. Man, I had great hair back then. Just
you
kidding.
did have great hair back then. I was looking at it. Like,
Mallory was like, look at your hair. Look at your hair. And I don't know.
That's what we're talking about. Sorry.
Anyway, I'm playing the game to get a job back then during student teaching. But 2nd grade, hardest year of my life. I came home. I was in bed by like 5 o'clock and under the covers every night. 2nd graders almost killed me. I ripped my pants out, reaching down to like bend over to help a kid. Had to go home, get new pants.
You ripped your pants?
Yeah, it was all because I was 6'3" and I was trying to help these little dudes down, little small desks and chairs. It was a mess. Anyway, back to our question. I love 2nd grade teacher. My family and I are huge Disney fans and just got back from a trip in October doing the Not So Scary Halloween party, among other things. We're planning a return for the 50th anniversary, but I had several questions about that. The first is, what is the time frame for the 50th anniversary celebration beginning and ending? We were there for the 25th anniversary, and the castle was decorated so beautifully when we were there. Wasn't that
the castle cake? Yeah.
Distance, 25 years makes you kind of.
Unless she means that sarcastically, and then maybe. Yeah.
And she says, now I wonder if they'll do something like that for the 50th. That leads me to another question I have. We're thinking about trying to time our visit to see the Christmas decorations and do the Christmas party, but wondered if that would affect the way they decorate for the 50th. Bottom line. Do you think they'll change the 50th decorations or events for the Christmas party decorations? Thank you for your awesome podcast. They get me through my workouts. Kathy is a 2nd grade teacher in Lincoln Elementary School in Kansas. Okay. And this is the most dangerous time for teachers. You just got to make it to Christmas break.
That's right.
You can do it. All my teachers, it's worse than a marathon. Hang in there. You're going to get there. All right. So what are your speculations for the 50th time frame? And will they change things out for the Christmas season?
Okay. So the big question is, when do we think the 50th is going to happen? When do we think the celebration is going to start? We honestly don't know yet. It could be a number of things. It could be the start is on October 1st, 2021, which is the official start of the 50th anniversary. It could be the start is sometime in like May of 2021, you know, so they get the summer crowds. It could be the start of 2021 January. We really don't know. We don't know what Disney's going to do until Disney decides when they're going to announce that. So unfortunately, that's going to be determined. Do I think that they're going to do a castle cake type situation? No, I do not.
How awesome would that be if, like, instead of a pink Pepto-Bismol cake, it's like what's popular, like bunt cakes? Like, so they make it like a series of like 60 or 50 bunt cakes or something.
No. So they did some decorations for Disneyland's 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World, and they did some gold accents and things like that. Mm-hmm. I think if they're going to decorate the castle, they will do something kind of along those lines. I don't think they will do a huge display necessarily. Definitely not a whole like castle cake situation again, because
what if they had nothing backstage and they just bust that sucker back out, like all of a sudden one day, bam, it's pink again?
Yeah, definitely that's not happening. So many complaints happened with the pink castle cake. It's not happening. So honestly, you know, I think that they will probably do something very tasteful on the castle. Other than that, I don't know how much else they will do at the other parks necessarily. You know, you'll probably get some banners and things like that, but I don't know that they'll have like displays up like they would do for the castle. So I think the castle might be the only thing that they might be decorating. They're not going to put another wand up on top of Spaceship Earth or anything like that, or, you know, a giant hat.
We could. I mean, you know, when you're celebrating history, why not go back and revisit some of those?
They put that down for a reason.
You know what? I was excited to see the wand come down off Spaceship Earth, but now I kind of miss it.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. No. Anyway, so I think that that's probably what we'll see. But as of right now, I wish I could tell you a date. I know everybody's looking for a date. And I don't have anything. I don't have any inkling because, you know, it's been a while since they've celebrated like one of these anniversaries. So we don't really have a date to go off of based off of the new timeline of what Disney is doing. You know, like they just haven't done something like this in a while. So, and
I think too, as far as the Christmas decorations will be pretty traditional.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to kind of go hand in hand. I don't think they're going to not decorate for Christmas because the 50th. I think you'll have the 50th stuff and then they'll put some Christmas around it.
And that's what makes me hesitant to say that they would decorate the castle necessarily, just because like if they're going to put the lights on the castle, which is such a huge draw for the holiday season, it's kind of hard to cover up any of the decorations that they would do for like a celebration of the 50th, you know, like what they did with the 50th of Disneyland. Like they had the gold you know, statues of all of like Disney characters, and it's at that time they weren't doing the castle lighting, so it was really easy to do something like that because they weren't covering the castle with anything. But with the castle lights, the dream lights, that's all netting, and I don't know, you know, all those are netted lights, so I don't know if they would be able to do something for the, you know, for the 50th, like minus like maybe a banner or something if they're going to do the castle lights. It's just, they'll definitely do something for the holidays for sure. I can guarantee you that. So
well, think about this though. I mean, back, you know, 25th and you know, pre 5 years ago, you know, the castle's now a canvas for the projection shows.
True.
You know, they have to have that. Like they can't go too, because I mean, there's no way they could have projected onto that castle with the pink on it, with all those
you're right,
colors and, you know, the odd shapes, you know, they need the
smooth, flat surfaces. Yeah. So I don't know if they will decorate the castle with anything, minus maybe a banner or something like that, just for those reasons alone, because they do use it as a canvas now. So you're right. Yeah.
What if Stitch teepees it?
I mean, it's happened before.
It God, I love Disney. That stuff is like fond memories nowadays. I miss that stuff.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know, the stranger the promotion, the more I look, God, I love the Year of a Million Dreams.
I know. Everybody loved the Year of a Million Dreams. I mean,
Paige and I stalked those people. We'd always be like, Dreamer at 2:00. We'd see the guy like with the light blue shirt and like the satchel.
Yeah.
I know it didn't work that way. We're like, where is he going? Okay, he's going to Haunted Mansion. Get in line.
Yep.
And then by the time you get in line, they're gone, you know.
Well, and remember the promotion about where you had to volunteer and you'd get a free day? Like that was awesome too. I did that, and then my volunteer program got canceled and I still got my free day. I felt really guilty about that.
I remember those promotions. We used to run those on Magical Mouse Radio.
I felt guilty about that. I didn't actually volunteer and I still got my free day.
Cold-blooded snake.
I know, right? They canceled it. It's not like I did it. They canceled it.
Paul Abdul reference right there. Okay, Chad has a question here. It was an episode idea question, but I think we can just tackle it here because I don't know if we'd have enough for a whole show, but I think we discuss this, and I think everybody can give us feedback on Facebook here as the week goes on. Ideas for ways to persuade your kids to ride the scarier rides. All I want for Christmas is a family photo on Space Mountain, he says.
Oh my goodness.
That could be like Mariah Carey's sequel to All This Is You. It could be a Space Mountain picture. I can't get my 6-year-old and my 8-year-old to ride. They keep asking to go to Universal, and I refuse to take them until they ride everything at Walt Disney World. We're DVC annual pass holders, so 3 to 4 years after they meet the height requirements is kind of getting old. All right, Chad, I feel your pain, man. This is it. You need that picture because that picture's the first time I took Mallory on Rock and Roller Coaster. God, that picture's classic. The pure terror in her eyes as that thing was blasting. I'm like got the biggest smile, and she's just looking like, "Oh my gosh, Dad, what did you do?"
So come on,
it is Rock and Roller Coaster is intense. Classic. Yes. Okay, so Rikki, I know you're not a parent yet, but I mean,
no.
What would you say to coax? I mean, because I'm sure Chad's tried everything in the world by now.
I was a huge chicken. I was a huge ride chicken. So unfortunately, like it's not easy to coax a person who doesn't want to ride something like that to ride it. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with you. I had to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to know that it was okay. And it took a very long time for me to know that it was okay. So with that in mind, and they want to go to Universal. So I kind of agree with the fact that if they can't do Space Mountain, they're not going to be able to do a lot of things at Universal just because they're going to freak out. The Universal attractions are very somewhat intense. So Space Mountain is a good, like they definitely need to get on Space Mountain. And if it's the dark that kind of scares them, it's really not so bad. You can kind of see a little bit. It's because I feel like that would probably be what terrifies them the most is the fact that they don't know where they're going. That would have been what terrified me. So, just try to do it once. I know it's scary. Maybe it's hard to do ride throughs on Space Mountain because like you can't really see anything. Because they're
lie about it. Show them some kind of video that's not that. I don't know. So here's what my dad did to me at Six Flags. I can go, my parents didn't take me to Walt Disney World, but my favorite ride was the log ride, the log flume.
Yeah.
And I was a dumb kid, might have guessed my dad wanted to ride the Screaming Eagle, which at the time was the fastest, tallest roller coaster in the world back in the late 70s, early 80s when I was a kid. And so my dad tells me, and I guess I was just a stupid kid because he tells me I'm in line for the log ride, get up there, all of a sudden the thing pulls into the station and I'm on it. I'm like, because I was tall. So there you go. You just lie to your kids. And
oh my gosh. I think they're going to know when they're going in the building that looks like Space Mountain, that it's Space Mountain here. So yeah. I like the idea of like bribing them with snacks.
Bribery is the only answer I have. I mean, that's Matthew has got it, and Chad says he's done it. I mean, you just got to up the bribes. I mean, you got to give them the world if they're going to do it once. You have to bribe them. That's it.
I think that's it. Like that's the only way, to be perfectly honest, unless they're ready. Like you can do ride videos, and those I think work for like other coasters like Big Thunder or Everest. But the ones in the dark, those are really hard because obviously you can't see where you're going. So, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what freaks them out the most about it is the fact that they can't see where they're going. If I had to take a guess, because that's really what freaks.
Jennifer, who's from actually Missouri, who's tuned in over in Italy tonight.
Yes, I saw that.
Not Georgia, like Italy, the country.
Yes.
She says, ride videos with the lights on for Space Mountain. I don't know if that's going to help.
No, that would probably terrify me more, right? Like seriously, when you actually look at how like close to those things are, I'm like, nope, I'm out. I don't want to know.
Dad, are you trying to kill me? Like, no, I'd be beheaded. I tried
that. Response. There's the you shame me, right? Or you're out of the family.
Yeah, you have one more chance, kid.
You
shame me. Ride home.
Oh man, that's funny.
What about let's see. So Eric said have like a face character, give them like a magic charm that'll keep them safe.
Well,
maybe true. Like a little
It's bribey. I mean, it's still bribey, but you know.
What if they held on to, like, remember those, like, something small? Like, remember those, like, little mini Vinylmations? Since we moved, I can't find anything.
Yeah, but you got. I mean, it would be. They have to know that they have to hold on to it. So there's.
If you lose it, it's $8. You know.
Well, yeah.
You got the picture. Who cares?
I feel like I mean, it would ruin it for other people. But I mean, have like a glow stick or a glow necklace or glow bracelet or I don't know, something like that. Maybe that would help.
Today's episode is called "The Joys of Parenthood."
This is why I don't have children. So.
That's exactly right. All right, another question here from the inbox. Feeling left out during Christmas. It's from Brittany and John.
No.
I know they're in Palm Beach, Florida, so I don't feel too bad. Mere 231 miles from the happiest place on earth. Hey, the BOGP gang. My husband and I are Florida residents and annual pass holders, and we've always wondered why Christmas overlays on some of the attractions, namely the Haunted Mansion, are only done at Disneyland. It sure would be great if they did them at Walt Disney World too. She put it that way.
Got it.
I like doing that. Thank you for all the great information and tips you provide that help us Florida folk make it the best day ever. Brittany and John. So here's what I've always heard, but I think Disney's kind of turning the corner on this over the past couple of years that the reason they do these at Disneyland is it's more of a locals park. Correct. So in Walt Disney World, it's more for folks that do like that once in a lifetime Correct. Or once in a decade type trip. Yes.
That is exactly right. Which is why they don't do like the overlays for, I mean, really anything minus the only time they really do it is for the holiday parties. And again, I think that's just so that, because they can get a little extra money out of you to go to the holiday party. So, I mean, let's be perfectly honest. The only thing that they do at Walt Disney World is the Jingle Cruise, which they don't do anymore at Disneyland. So in that regard, I actually kind of like that. Like we have something that's a holiday themed attraction that they don't have, which is kind of cool. And it doesn't take a lot to change the Jungle Cruise into the Jingle Cruise. It really is like a one night thing. Whereas like Haunted Mansion Holiday or the It's a Small World Holiday or things like that really do take a longer stretch of time to turn over. And so they just don't want the attractions to be closed for that long, I think is kind of what, I look at, because not only are they closed before the holiday season to set up for it, but they're also closed after the holiday season to take everything down. So you've got two decent times when the attractions are closed, and they just don't want that to happen. Like I said, it works with the Jingle Cruise because they literally don't shut the attraction down. It happens in a day. So, I think that's the real reason.
Yeah. Tell the Christmas jokes. And there you go.
Yes, exactly.
Put a hat on that hippo.
I think that like if they did something like what they did with the Tomorrowland Speedway, I think that they could do that, during the day. You get to see the trees that they've put up and stuff like that, but then at the night you get to have the added bonus of having them lit up and everything like that. I'm curious to see if they would do something like that during like that week of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like that actual Christmas week. That would be kind of cool if they like kept that, because it doesn't take much to turn those lights on.
And during the parties, they've been doing like Space Mountain with all the lights out, like totally black. Okay, but so like maybe during Christmas, instead of like projecting the chocolate chip cookies, they could put like Christmas ornaments and maybe play some Christmas music.
They do something. They do. I don't think it's completely dark for the Christmas party. I will know more when I ride it here this weekend, but I don't think it's completely dark for the Christmas party. It was for the Halloween party. I know that for sure.
But I mean, not just for the Christmas party, but just through the whole Christmas season. Put like just project some ornaments, play some spacey sounding Christmas music. So maybe some like
they do it during the party for sure. So
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
That'd be an easy overlay. Like I'm trying to think
definitely. Or what they do with the Mad Tea Party. At night they have the Christmas lights go. So I mean, there are things that they could do. I don't think they want to do it because they get more money if you go to the party. So, yeah.
At Disney. All right. Last question today. Getting to the Magic Kingdom during the Princess Half Marathon. It's from Tanya. She's in Montreal, Canada. Hi, Mike, Rikki, and Pam. You guys always have great answers. I wonder if you could help me with this. I booked a Crystal Palace PPO ADR pre-park opening. See, look at that. That's a new one.
I got it. Okay, good.
Pay before it gets there. I don't know. No, it's a pre-park opening ADR on Sunday, February 23rd, which I found out is the Princess Half Marathon morning. it is. I have heard around traffic around the Magic Kingdom can be hectic that morning. We're staying at French Quarter. Is it possible to make it on time for our ADRs using Disney buses, or should I cancel our 8 a.m. ADR? I'll secure a 10 a.m. ADR just in case. Thanks for all your great work, Tanya. First of all, I'd go with the 10 o'clock, even the pre-park opening, because pre-park opening isn't going to work out because the race goes through the Magic Kingdom. And there's going to be a lot of hubbub. Exactly right, because that race does go through the castle. I would do the 10 o'clock a.m., skip the PPO, and I would be on your bus by 8:30. Even though it's French Quarter, and French Quarter is really easy to get to the Magic Kingdom, I'd be on my bus at 8:30 and try to get it. Because, I mean, if you're in early, you go around the park and shop in the Emporium or what have you. But I would try to be on the bus at 8:30. You'll probably be at the Magic Kingdom in by 9:30, and you're there in plenty of time to check in.
I think that's probably correct. Yeah, it's just going to be stressful, I think, to get there by a pre-park opening. Breakfast, PPO. I know. It's just going to be. I think it's going to be too stressful, and that would be a terrible way to start your morning. So I would give yourself a little bit of a buffer. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. Don't forget today's episode brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com, home of great iPhone apps like Theme Park News, Disney Edition. Rikki, what are we reading about this week over on Theme Park News, Disney Edition, which is a free iOS app?
It is. And, we are reading about the fact that there is a brand new exhibit at the Morocco Pavilion. So this exhibit is called Race Against the Sun, and it showcases two incredible modern day competitions. One is the Marathon of the Sands, and the other one is the Rally of the Gazelles. So that's kind of interesting. These are what I would assume would be kind of like running type events, which is kind of cool. So the Race Against the Sun features immersive experiences, including a lifelike diorama of the Marathon of the Sands that includes race gear and trophies from Moroccan competitors. And then there's an interactive photo opportunity that highlights the Rally of the Gazelles, which is an off-road all-women's desert rally. Each of these intense competitions take place in the Sahara Desert, which sounds really intense, man.
When you whine when it's 35 degrees at Marathon Weekend, shut up. These are the real competitors.
Exactly. So I think a lot of our listeners would very much enjoy seeing this brand new exhibit and marveling of the fact that, wow, people actually are running the Sahara and these crazy, awesome competitions that they're doing. So that's really cool. So yeah, I would go check it out. It's in, like I said, it's in the Morocco Pavilion, and they have a really awesome area for you to go check this out in.
That's the kind of stuff Epcot does best. They need more of that stuff.
Yes, I mean it's awesome. So look, this is something that I didn't know about, and I get to learn about something that I didn't know about existed, which is, like you said, quintessential Epcot. It's that edutainment aspect, and it just allows me to further my knowledge, which is really, really cool. So that's another thing I have to try to squeeze into my my weekend this weekend is to see this exhibit. So many things. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So many things. So.
I'll be whining about running the treadmill and people running through the Sahara. So whatever.
Right. Exactly. Anyway. Priorities.
Yeah. Check out this story and many others over on Theme Park News Disney Edition over at virtualmickey.com. Now, with the holiday season quickly approaching, please use our Amazon affiliate link as often as you can. It really does help support everything we do throughout the year. It helps cover all of our bandwidth as we get more and more listeners. It costs more and more per download. For us, we don't mind. I love having y'all here, as many as we can have. We'll make it happen. But it really does help support the show. So
everybody, we like it. Yes.
You get all the Prime benefits. It costs you absolutely nothing extra. Just click through the link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Takes you right to the regular Amazon page. Do all the shopping you can, and it will just help support us. So again, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Give us a follow on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod and at BeOurGuestMike. And of course, Facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
This weekend. I'm just saying. Yep.
And finally, don't forget to hit subscribe wherever you get the show. It really does help support the show. The subscriptions really do help drive our big metric, and we're really close to a major milestone there. So please, wherever you listen, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, iTunes, it's not iTunes anymore, but the Apple Podcast app, whatever it is, just subscribe. You get the shows immediately that come out the night before. You have them for the next morning's commute, and it makes things easy. So please subscribe, and recruit listeners like everybody.
Absolutely.
Do it. Bonk them on the head. Tell them to listen.
Yes. Tell everybody. We exist.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday. We're talking Disney resorts. It's a great time of the year to talk resorts. It's always a great time to talk Disney resorts. It's my favorite thing. So we're going to be there with you on that for Friday. So until then, for Rikki and Pam, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great Wednesday, but it's time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff, people. That was a fun one, especially the
what
angle. I like that.
bribing angle.
Yeah, I do. That's the only thing you can do. Bribe hard.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, that's true. That's true.
563. Edited.
Sometimes that's true.
No, yeah, I'm so rich making this podcast. I am going and talking to a high school class though about podcasting.
That's cool.
I know, isn't that cool? I think it's really cool for high schoolers because the way I see it is, I mean, when I was in high school, because I did newspaper and yearbook, and that was like my way to express, my opinions, get my writings out, be creative. And there was actually like a poetry journal. Remember that at Central? They have that when you were there. It's called Pegasus.
They did not.
It was like a poetry something.
I mean, they might have, but I definitely don't remember it. So
anyway, like that's the only way really to get your voice out there, and I did, there was really no other way to do it. But I mean, God, think about it. If like you're a kid and you're really passionate about something in high school, with your laptop, which you probably already have, you could talk to people in Australia. I mean, just like we do. I mean, we don't do anything special. I mean, kids could really talk to anywhere around the world.
Because Brian is in Toastmasters, and one of like the Toastmaster projects that they have is to create a podcast. And I'm like, well, that's great and everything, but a podcast is something that takes a lot of effort and time and stuff like that, and you have to be committed to. And that's why there are so many podcasts that have 2 episodes and then it's done. And I feel like that's kind of I get the Toastmaster aspect of it, of trying to learn how to speak, better to people in that way. But I feel like by telling people to just create a podcast, they're also I don't know, unless you want to keep up at it. That's kind of my
thing. I mean, you got to just give them the, what's going on and say, give it a shot, because in high school, I would have stuck with it. I'm one of those people, when I do something, I tend to do it all the way. I mean, it's like the show. I don't miss shows because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way. And fun. And if anybody needs me to talk to a class, just let me know. And
that's cool. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we're going to talk making the most of your resort day. Resort stay. Okay.
BRIBE.com.
I hope I can get to Taco Bell in the blizzard of 2019.
Oh no, Mike's got to go to Taco Bell tonight.
I've been eating McDonald's. Dude, I had 4 days straight of McDonald's Happy Meals, 2 each day.
That is a lot of McDonald's.
My cholesterol is probably super high right now.
Holy cow, Mike. Oh my goodness. How are you still alive? I'm just asking that question right now. Right? Exactly.
I get a cheeseburger Happy Meal and a chicken McNugget Happy Meal. That way I had variety.
Got it. I didn't get into the whole Happy Meal thing. I saw the really cool.
I got grips. I got it. Yeah.
I saw the really cool, and I was tempted, but I just decided, nah, I don't need to get toys that I already had and got rid of the first time.
So awesome. It was so cool. Grimace is my boy. All right, here we go. I kind of look like Grimace.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, here we go. Oh, man. La la la. Okay. I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
His supersized Mike. That's probably right. I keep having Happy Meal toys.
All yes.
1964. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1564 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. They're every day, all day. Come on over. I'll help you plan a great Disney vacation. We're here to talk Disney. We're having a great time talking the Walt Disney World Resorts today. Hopefully you're having a great Friday already and that you're set up for an awesome weekend. Heading out to the zoo again. Now we're going to be one of the 7 people that might show up for the football game this weekend, as Mizzou's taking quite a fall from grace over the past few weeks. We can probably sit wherever we want. That's a good thing about being at the game on tomorrow on Saturday as we take on the Florida Gators. Speaking of Walt Disney World, chomp chomp, we're going to take them down, baby. We're going to ruin everybody else's season since ours is down the toilet. So that's how it is. So anyway, joining me today to talk Walt Disney World Resorts and not SEC football, we have Rikki from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. And I'm so jealous. While I'm watching the Florida Gators in Como, you are down in the Sunshine State having a good time, Christmas party and all.
I am. So today yes, today is Friday. So the plan for today is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So that is awesome, and I'm very excited about that. And I plan on going to see some of the gingerbread displays at the Contemporary and the Grand Floridian, and hopefully the Wilderness Lodge, because they have a display there now, and I hope it's open. I mean, by the time we recorded this, I should know, but by the time this airs, I should know, I should say. But yeah, so I plan on going to see that, and then tomorrow the plan is Animal Kingdom, and then maybe heading over to Hollywood Studios to see if I can make it for a little bit of maybe Jingle Bell Jingle Bam. I'm not sure. Bam! But I do love the holiday decorations either way. So I want to see, actually, I haven't seen the Toy Story ones yet. So maybe I'll catch those. Even though, I got to see the ham cookie. They've had, the ham sugar cookie. So I got to see that. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan. Yeah,
post early and post often, because I need a little Christmas right this very minute on my social media.
I have already started the Christmas. In case you couldn't tell with me going to all the Christmassy stuff at Disney, I've already seen the movie Last Christmas. If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Not here, not now. But
yeah, please, no, I don't want to hear about it. I don't know if like an elf and all that. I probably already figured out the plot. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Whatever, and she's her dying wish. But go ahead, because it's a chick flick. Go ahead. No.
That's not it at all. So you have not figured it out. Anyway. So I've seen that movie. I have a ridiculously awesome overall set that I have not decided if I'm going to wear to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party tonight, or I bought a Christmas sweater. I have not decided which one I'm going to do, but I'm going to wear one of them. The one thing is like the overalls, they're not Disney, but they're ridiculously ugly and cute all at once, but they're a little too long because I got short little stubby legs. So I have to decide whether I'm going to hem them. And I'm not paying to hem these pants. So I got to figure out if I can get some safety pins and hem them that way. So anyway, yeah, we'll see if I can get them hemmed up. Otherwise I'm going to wear the sweater, but I'm so excited about my really ugly overalls that I just overalls. Oh my God, they're reindeer overalls and they're so ugly, and I'm so excited about them.
You'll be on everybody's social media.
Yes, I'm so excited about these. Yes.
All right, so follow along on social media this weekend. But right now, we're going to talk about year round Walt Disney World. When folks contact me at the Magic for Less, and the good news is I book a lot of our listeners, and the good news about Be Our Guest podcast listeners for the most part is that you have traveled to Walt Disney World typically many times. I mean, we have some pretty diehard Disney fans who've been doing this for years and years. But then again, I know that we have lots of listeners out there today driving into school or work, and you're listening to the show and you've never been. You just think this stuff is pretty cool. You don't really have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. And I love that about our show, because we have we have so many listeners that know definitely more than I know about Walt Disney World, because you've been there. We have a lot of cast members that listen. People have completed the college program, so forth. And then, first timers. And I like that we try to address, both ends of the spectrum and kind of fall in the middle where everybody can enjoy the show. But what I tell people when it comes time to plan a Disney vacation, the most important thing you got to figure out is where you're going to stay. And that's, always say, my thing is always stay on site. If you want to go back to last May and listen to my nightmare of staying at a Disney Springs resort at the B with the cheerleaders, it wasn't the cheerleaders. It was staying off site when I'm a on-site snob. I am, because you get so many perks. It's really nice. You're in the bubble. You feel like a second-class citizen when you're not on site. So what we're going to talk about today is getting the most out of that resort. When you're staying on site, there's so many things that you can do at the resort. Of course, you're there for the theme parks, go to the water parks, Disney Springs. There's a lot of stuff to do away from your resort. But if for some reason, because we did a series, and we're going to hop back into this here probably, as this year closes out, we did our Trapped In series where we were trapped in Fantasyland, and we couldn't leave Fantasyland, and we had to do everything in that land to have a good day, or, trapped in Tomorrowland. We'll hop back into that again. But today, it's kind of like a Trapped In, but it's your resort. And I think you'd find it pretty amazing as to how much you can do without going to the theme parks, Disney Springs, without leaving your resort. So Rikki, when it comes time to, stay, I know you do stay offsite a lot because of the perks, because of your husband's job, you get free stays at Hilton's, but when you're at Hyatt, sorry, Brian.
Yes.
HH. Okay. So when you're on site, I mean, what do you think about, because I think the first thing you got to think about is what's the goal of the trip? Like Marathon weekend, I need a bed and a shower. I'm not going to be swimming, because I'm running 48.6 miles. So I'm staying at Pop Century. I want ease of transportation to Epcot Skyliner, and I want a comfortable bed, and I want a good price. So that's why I picked Pop Century. So you got to kind of think about your goals of the trip first, right? And then you can kind of look at the amenities of your resort.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, if you're not planning on really experiencing a lot of the resort, then the amenities don't necessarily matter as much. But if you do plan on having like a day or two, or even gasp, if you plan on having a completely resort only trip, I mean, there are some people that do that, right?
I've done that once. I did that once.
So there are times when it is necessary to really take a look at what your resort has to offer, and maybe stay at some of the resorts that have more amenities to them in the regards of like extra things to do around them. I mean, of course, Pop Century has some fantastic things. Look, I was just there over the summer, and I saw that they had on select days where you could do painting classes. And like you paid a little bit of money, like it was like $35, I think, and you did one of those like paintings that you see, like how you go to like these cities and you'll have a painting class that you go and you like
go drink the wine and
exactly. Yeah. Here you're not drinking the wine, I don't think. You're just doing a Disney inspired painting, which is really cool. So so even the value resorts still have some sort of fun things like this, but it's not like over the top like what you would see at some of the other more deluxe or moderate resorts necessarily. So there's still options for you. It's just not as in your face, I guess I should say.
So I would say, as we talk about, getting the most out of your resort day and your resort stay on today's show, is that I think the best day to kind of do this, there's 3 days I think that are primed to really kind of fit this into your overall touring plan as your, pre-trip, you're trying to think about things. It's your arrival day, which is kind of hard because, I mean, when I get there, I'm amped up. I want to go to the Magic Kingdom. I want to go get, ride a ride and, go to a favorite snack place, get an All-American Sundae or something. I get that. Departure day, that can be a good day because you're kind of tired. You've been going hard, and maybe your Magical Express picking you up at 2:00. You're going to waste a lot of time in transportation, getting to a park, getting back. You could really explore your day there. But I think there's something to be said for if you're going down for a week, staying back, day 4, day 5, and really enjoying the amenities of your resort. I think that's important. Recharge your batteries.
Absolutely. I think that's so huge, is the ability to kind of recharge your batteries. And I think that those are the 3 days that you really can kind of enjoy your resort. And you're right. Like the first day, yeah, you're usually pretty amped up. You want to get that vacation started. It's really hard to slow down on that first day, because I feel like that first day is really a slow down day. And sometimes I feel like the last day is a little stressful too, to try to have one of those slow down kind of days because you're worried about your flight, or, you're worried about packing up and, oh, did I forget anything? And then, oh, I've got to leave my luggage maybe in Bell Services, or unless you want to drag it around the resort with you. So there's that option. So I feel like having that like extra day in the middle of your trip to enjoy the resort and really enjoy the resort is probably the key. Because then you're not feeling stressed about anything or amped up about anything. You're just really there to enjoy what the resort offers. So I think that extra day is really the sweet spot for enjoying your resort.
And I will say this is one of the things that we've learned over the years, and it's really, sound advice for folks that are going first, second, third time, especially if you have kids, is that as awesome as the Magic Kingdom is, all the rides for the kids, that they're going to enjoy, and you got all this perfect plan figured out, you're going to have a meal with over at Chef Mickey's with the Fab Five, what have you. Time and time again, Len has told us this for the last decade over, with the unofficial guide surveys, is that your kids, when you get home and you ask them what was their favorite part of the trip, many times it's swimming pools at the resorts. So, as much as and I've been in that trap, man, with both Paige and Mallory through the years, God, I want to go to Epcot, man. There's illuminations tonight. There's, we've got a fast pass for Test Track and Soarin'. I mean, it's going to be the ideal day. Nope. Just want to hang out at Coronado Springs in the pool, and it's you got to let that happen sometimes. It's hard because the Walt Disney World pools are awesome. Even at Pop Century, Art of Animation, the All-Stars, they're themed and the kids want to swim. And there's usually a cast member there playing games, whether it's like a trivia game or some kind of throw the ball in the bucket kind of game. And they give out little prizes like Showbiz. I know that stuff sounds cheesy, but man, you got to think about your kids. Your kids are going to want to swim at the pools.
I mean, absolutely. And let's be honest, my husband wants to swim in the pool. So, you know, like it's not just the kids. So, you know, and it can be tough, especially for us like type A's who are, you know, go all the time, like me. It's really hard to try to stop and smell the roses in that regard. But like you said, it is so important to be able to do something like that because, for your kids, you know, the pool is such an important thing. I mean, I remember, you know, when I was a kid, I remember swimming in pools at every single hotel, you know, we stayed at and just loving it and, you know, making friends in the pool. And like, it was such a big part of my vacation. And I remember that too, even, you know, now, like that was such a huge part. So, yeah, definitely having that pool time, especially if you've got the kiddos and that downtime there is going to be key. Otherwise you're going to be in the pool, you know, at, you know, 10 o'clock at night, right before the pool closes and trying to get that in. Right?
That's such a good point though, about making friends at the pool. Like there's pictures of Paige with like random girls and it's like, who's that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, like they hung out for like 2 days, you know, like, oh, we'll meet you at the pool tomorrow, you know, at 2 o'clock or whatever. And she had a blast and that's what it was.
Absolutely. I mean, that was such a huge part of like my vacations as a kid. It was just really kind of enjoying time with other kids in the pool. So I get it. I absolutely get it. 100%. So,
all right. So there's so many resorts on site and each resort has different offerings for things you can do as you stay there. So we're just going to point out some of our favorites. Obviously dining is a great option. I think two of the cool dining places to go to would be Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lodge. And then kind of a sister type similar situation is Three Rivers over at Coronado Springs, because I think people like to Three Bridges. What did I say? Three Rivers. That was the ballpark.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Different.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, you know, dining is an experience. It's kind of open air. You know, you can enjoy the weather in Florida most times of the year. Maybe not during marathon weekend, but let's hope this year. Maybe it'll be awesome. And, you know, explore some new restaurants. And that way you can take in the atmosphere. So I like, you know, think about going to Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lodge or Three Bridges over at Coronado.
Stop. Three Rivers. You know, you mentioned Coronado, but they have a number of fantastic options like Rick's Sports Bar and Cafe, which is kind of a nice option there, especially if you are looking for a place to watch the game, which I know a lot of people kind of try to do, and everybody thinks of ESPN and nobody thinks of you know, Coronado. So that's kind of an interesting option for people. I think that every resort has just a great place to go to grab a bite. You've got at the Yacht Club, the Cruise Cup Lounge, which is over there, or at Wilderness Lodge, you've got Territory Lounge. Like all these lounge areas are so fantastic to just stop, grab a bite, enjoy a little bit of a nice afternoon, you know, early evening type situation, and just stop and, like we said, kind of smell the roses a little bit. It's kind of nice to slow down at one of these little lounge areas.
I think too, you know, Walt Disney World trips can be exhausting, you know, whether it's the younger kids, you know, maybe your senior travelers that are going. I mean, you're walking tons of miles. And if you take a day in the middle to swim, because I mean, think about it. If the kids are swimming, you're in the pool, you're just kind of hanging out, your body's kind of relaxed, and the water does kind of bounce you back. Even if you're just laying in a lounge chair next to the pool watching the kids have a good time, hey man, that's great. You can get snacks. Many of these pools, like Coronado Springs, has a great snack bar right next to the pool with drinks.
Yep.
You know, even like Pedals Pool Bar at Pop Century, you know, I mean, it's a great way to kind of refresh your legs and save yourself. And like you said, that evening, go to a nice restaurant or a lounge is a great place. You don't have to have an ADR. You can get some good food. So good points there. So let's kind of hop into some of the things that are fun that maybe people don't know about that you can do with the Walt Disney World resorts. What do you got?
You know, I think that some of the big things are, like you said, at like Fort Wilderness, you know, I know so many people like going around on the golf carts and just looking at, you know, people's displays. I mean, yeah, the displays are really big at like, say, Christmas time or Halloween, but you know, I'm sure that people do some fantastic kind of displays out other times of the year as well. You know, so that's kind of cool is to see that, you know, at Animal Kingdom, you know, we talk time and time again about the savannah. I mean, just going and looking out there and sitting out. They have these great rocking chairs. And if it's a cool night, they have a fire, or, you know, sometimes it's just nice to have a fire anyway, even if it's 100 degrees out. But you've got, especially at night, and you've got the animals that are out there. You've got the night vision goggles if you've got the nighttime thing going. And, you know, if it's during the day, you can see the animals really well. So that's really cool just to sit out there and just relax a little bit and watch the savannah. I mean, that's just such a really cool experience. I would say going to, say, Port Orleans French Quarter, and they have the new the Scat Cat lounge there. So the Scat Cat lounge has some music on select nights, but they also have a new beignet bar, basically. So what I would suggest is, you know, maybe grabbing some beignets and going and finding a quiet spot to sit and like enjoy some beignets and maybe some coffee in the morning or in the afternoon, and really soaking up the atmosphere of French Quarter. I think that would be a really good idea too. And like you said, these are like things that you wouldn't necessarily think of. They're not in every guidebook that, you know, comes out, but these are really great things that you can do to just make your day at the resort that much better.
And with that, isn't there like a deal right now where it's like buy one, get one for like AP holders and DVC?
Get one for free, baby. Yeah.
So I mean, you're not going to eat one. You got to get, you know, we're going to get there. You may as well get 6.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, you get, well, I don't know that you get one. I think you get like 3. I think I haven't done it yet. So I think you get like 3 for free with an AP. I think you have to buy a drink, but
you're going to need one.
Yeah, no kidding. I would buy a drink anyway. Let's just be perfectly honest.
Powdered sugar will kill you if you just inhale. I almost died by beignets many times from the powdered sugar.
I think maybe it is completely free. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of read it and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I stopped reading after a while.
I love when you put those hot ones in that white bag and just dump in the powdered sugar.
Yeah. I got to figure out how to get over there this weekend too. See, so many things I have to do this weekend. I don't know how I'm going to do it all. Yeah.
But I will say, kind of along those lines, think about your adjacent resorts, because the thing is, if you're staying at Riverside, and obviously at Riverside, you have things like, and I want to throw this in later, but I mean, you got things like the horse carriage ride you can take around Riverside. Awesome. It's not that expensive. You know, when else you can do that with your family? You also have Yeehaw Bob. You can watch him perform Wednesday through Saturday nights in the River Roost Lounge. You know, but if you're staying at Riverside, walk over to French Quarter and explore that one. And at Riverside, that's a unique thing. You can swim in the pool and vice versa. You can use both pools there because you can't pool hop normally, but they're sister resorts, so you can there. So you get 2 resorts, 2 sets of activities in one. Over at French Quarter, they have a 5K run on Sundays, I think. I think it's on Sundays. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is really cool. So if you're staying at Pop Century, hop over to Art of Animation, see what classes they're offering, because they give like some drawing classes. You can do that. You can sign up for that. If you're, one of the big things I have, if you're staying at Yacht Club, Beach Club, or Boardwalk, you got to explore the boardwalk. The boardwalk's fun. You know, have lunch at ESPN Club, get some ice cream at Ample Hills. They have a great screen door shop down there on the boardwalk. It's one of the huge, just gigantic stores, you know, resort shops. It's got a little candy shop inside there with like fudge and apples, you know, caramel apples and ice cream bars. And, you know, there's a lot going on there. You know, go over to the Big River Grill, have, you know, a meal there. You got jelly rolls in the evening. You got the Papa Shots. You got the junk food cart. You got margarita stand. I mean, there's a lot going on in the boardwalk. And if you're in that area, Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk, spend a night there instead of going to the parks.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on at the boardwalk. It's just, you know, I know that they kind of wanted like a Pleasure Island light type experience, and I feel like that's kind of what you get a little bit at the boardwalk is just a little bit of what Pleasure Island was in a weird way. It's definitely not the same, by the way, but you know, you've got jelly rolls there, which is awesome. The great dueling piano bar. You got the never open, basically Atlantic Dance Hall. I mean, sometimes it is, but you don't want to go there. Trust me. It's probably not worth any of your time. Unless you want to be the only person on the dance
floor. It's a shame because I'm a former club DJ. Like that could be so awesome. I would love it. I mean, I'm getting too old to DJ now, but that'd be so, I could totally bring that place back.
No, absolutely. So anyway, that makes me sad, but I'm sure it's used for things. It's just we don't know what they are. So another thing that's really a great idea is at night at the resorts. They have the movie Under the Stars, which is always a fantastic thing. Every resort does this, which is kind of cool. Now, if it does rain or something like that, they do bring it inside into a location, but usually they have it out outside, and you know, usually it's by a pool or you know by some body of water, and they have the ability to like lay out on chairs or loungers or something like that. And then a lot of times they will have like a campfire at a few different resorts as well, where you can roast s'mores and do things like that, which is really such a cool experience too. So there's nothing like, I've done it at the beach club, and there's nothing like, sitting there by the water and, eating yummy marshmallows while you're, toast them by the fire. It's really so much fun. So
it's one things too, like, I know that I'll enjoy these things to do them. And I think a lot of our listeners are probably in the same case. Like I fight it.
Yes.
I don't want to spend time at the resort, even though I do, but I feel like I'm missing something out at Epcot, or I'm at the studios. The thing is, if I'm at the studios, then like it's crazy crowded. I'm exhausted. I'm waiting in line to ride, the Slinky Dog, and I've ridden it before. Like when I'm in the parks, I'm like, man, I wish I would have stayed back at the resort and just kind of chilled and kind of just taking it easy. And the thing is, when I do that at the resorts, I'm loving it. Like I don't really regret it when I'm there, but I just have a hard time forcing myself almost to do this.
I'm 100% the same way. I mean, you are speaking to the choir on that one. Like I legit have a really hard time of, stopping and doing some of these things, and sometimes Brian has to force me because he is definitely more of a relaxed person on vacation and stuff like that, and so that's definitely a hard thing to do. But you're right, once I do them, I enjoy them, and it's exactly the same thing you were saying. Like I've ridden Space Mountain 100 times, but like but I still want to ride it like the 101st time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not changing, and I know that. But in my head, I'm like, well, I'm here. I might as well ride Space Mountain. And it's just that mentality of you don't live there, so you don't get to go all the time. So you still have the mentality of I need to ride it all the time kind of situation. And so I get the pull of I have to go ride it the 101st time, even though I've ridden it 100 times before that. Like I get that. But there is something so very special about stopping and doing something at the resort or whatever that I promise it's worth it. It's just really, really hard to do. And I get that 100%.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can't look at. You got to think about, people always say the grass is greener on the other side. It's not. Like you can't look at the people coming back from Magic Kingdom saying, oh, I should have done that. No, they didn't get to have the experience you had at your resort. They didn't get the downtime. They didn't get to have the family bonding, and all that. So you got to make your choice and just be happy with it. Cause
exactly.
And so a couple other things that I totally agree with that Erica and Mike mentioned, kind of the same thing, are like the community halls at the DVC resorts, and especially over at the yacht club, the solarium. Now that's a great place where they have like TVs, couches. We've had podcast meetups in there.
Yes, we have.
We made that place so loud with a lizard meetup, a marathon weekend a couple of years ago, and it was so fun. It's just the acoustics in that place is horrible because it's like all the hard surfaces, and we were so loud. I mean, you put like 60 lizards in one room, it's going to be loud. Sorry. And not just the shirts. I mean, we're loud looking and we're loud.
Exactly.
Loud. But the thing is, like in those things, kind of along the lines of like the painting, they have like little statues you can paint, or they just constantly have like classes going on throughout the day, and you could pay $10-15, maybe this time of the year, paint a Christmas ornament, or, just whatever. They had lots of different activities. And the thing about it is the cast members there are very friendly, and they want to get everybody involved. I mean, you could play video games. They had like Wii's set up. I mean, it was just, they call them community halls, and that's what they are. I mean, it's a place for the guests to come together, and it's almost like you're back home. I mean, it's a lot of fun little activities, like you're going away to camp or something. I like that.
It is kind of like camp. I agree with that. Yeah. And it's fun. Again, you can do things that you wouldn't normally do on vacation that you would think of on a Disney vacation. Like, me and Scott, I think, played bags, and Brian, and we all just sat around and played bags, and that's not something that I would consider doing on a Disney vacation. Like when I'm sitting here planning my vacation out, like that's not something I would think of, but it was fun. We had a good time. So, and that was something that we did near, the community hall, which is really cool. Those community halls are really fantastic. They do have a ton of great options for people to get to do. Some do cost money, so just keep that in mind. And some are, free activities that you can do. But they do help enhance the vacation. And, just know, like, if it's a rainy day, everybody and their brother's going to head down to the community hall. So just keep that in mind. But if it's a nice day and stuff like that, still go to the community hall. You'll still have a good time, I promise.
And so kind of along the same lines, like a rainy day or a chilly day, Mike Bankhead again offers up, go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, go to Wilderness Lodge. You have the big fireplaces.
Yes.
Those two resorts. And again, they're same architect, the same different theme, obviously, but same type of style is they're like a blanket, they're like comfortable. They're a place, even if you're going to the theme park all day and you need to hop out and go over there and get a snack over at Roaring Fork and sit by the fireplace. God, you might not want to go back to the Magic Kingdom after that. It's so awesome. So take advantage of that. And while you're there, go Wilderness Lodge. Again, one of the best gift shops on property.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Walk around the place.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like the gift shops in some of these resorts are fantastic. The Contemporary also has a really great gift shop that I like to go to. I think it's BBG. And
Biv DeVoe. BBG.
No. And they have some great items, that for sale, but they also have like a candy counter in there. So like I'm stocking up on food, man. I'm looking like, what can I get in here? So that's really awesome. And I think Wilderness Lodge also has a candy counter in their gift shop too. So the gift shop at they opened the one at the Yacht Club. That one's okay. It's connected to like their food court or like it's like a market / gift shop in there. It's just okay. Now the one that's not great is the Beach Club. They're just awful. I hate their combination of gift shop / food market. It's not great. But there are definitely some good ones that are very entertaining and going and shopping. I mean, I could look everything Pop. I don't know what it is about that store, but I can shop around everything Pop like crazy. And I don't know why, but like there is something so like I get in there and it's like a magnet drawing me. I don't know what it is.
The whole dang store. And I don't know, because it's like a value resort, but God, there's something about the way that thing is laid out. Like I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that it's all open kind of to the food court. I don't know. Like there's an energy in there.
There is an energy in there. I don't know what it is, but I love it. So even the value resorts can have some fantastic options as far as shopping goes. So go shop, spend some of your hard-earned money on Disney souvenirs that you do need. I'm telling you, you need to have that other Mickey mini ear thing that I don't need to buy while I'm down at Disney right now that I kind of want, like the holiday ones. I'm not going to buy them.
You're going to buy the holiday Crocs. Mallory wants a pair of those Crocs.
No, I'm not. I don't do Crocs. That's not my thing. But those ears, there's a couple of ears right now that I'm like, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. But there's the ones with like the red and black bow, like the flannel color. I love that one. And it's got like the fuzzy, the white fuzzy, like you see in Ugg boots. Like I don't need it, but it looks so cozy and I kind of want it. And then there's the ones with the gingerbread Mickey and Minnie. Again, I don't need them. They're $30 for ears now. I don't need $30 ears. They're killing me on the ears. Like seriously, $30. No, thank you. But they're so cute.
Did you see during the taping for the holiday specials that the folks who were like, what, how they like do shots of like the crowd going crazy looking at the stage? Mm-hmm. They made the people, they were shooting from behind. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the fans, they made them turn their ears backwards so that the camera could see the front facing. So they're actually wearing their ears backwards, but that way the people at home can see the merch. How crazy is that?
Oh my gosh.
Watch when you watch the parade on Christmas morning, the special.
Like everybody's ears or like just select one?
They're shooting from behind, the Christmas ears. Like, so you can see the face of the ears, but they're wearing them backwards because they're shooting them from the back of their heads.
That's funny. I guess they gave them ears to wear. And yeah, and that's probably what it was. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Oh, I that's really awesome. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah. So
another tip I have, getting back on topic here, for making the most of your resort day is, if we're this is your opportunity to sleep in a bit, because you really do. I mean, as much as I'm a early bird, I get up early every morning. It's just how it is. This is the opportunity though to kind of like, again, it's a recharge day. It's not 100% flying out, around all crazy all day. Sleep in a bit. Take your time at your pool, or whatever, to sign up for a couple classes, make a tie-dye t-shirt at Pop Century, what have you. But what I do is I'll make like an early evening ADR at a different resort so that I get my resort day at my home resort, but also say, we're going to Wilderness Lodge, so we're going to make a reservation at Whispering Canyon, or, Kona. So I just want to, I want to eat at Kona, say around 5 o'clock, but then I spend, the evening, like walking the beach at the Polynesian, going through their stores, watching the fireworks from there, because I'm there for meals, so that, I have the right to do that. And then if I feel like it, I could just jump on the monorail and go to the Magic Kingdom for just like, to see the end of the day there, or just do an hour. But I think, if you make an ADR at a different resort, for dinner that night, that kind of gives you like a focus. Okay, we're going to sleep in a little bit. We're going to have, late morning, early afternoon at our resort to swim, to take in, whatever it is, and then hop to another resort, have dinner, and then close out the night at another resort. I like that idea.
I'm a big fan of that, actually. I think that's a really great idea. That way you get to see a couple of resorts and you really get to enjoy. Again, you're not stuck necessarily at your resort, which is nice too. So I think that's definitely a great idea. I like what Erica says, though, unless you're staying at the Poly and the ferry starts blowing its horn at the TTC.
Oh,
yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, let's be honest, you're not sleeping in with the ferry. So that's kind of a bummer. But that sleep in is definitely important for us, especially because you are going harder at Walt Disney World than you do in your daily life. So
you sit at a desk, or I know we have a lot of blue collar workers that are out there, in construction, and
yes,
I value that so much. That's awesome. I feel so like a lazy slob sitting at this computer all day. It's why I run so much. But yeah, for most people, like, it's way more physical activity than you're typically used to.
Absolutely. So you're gonna need that time to just, really recharge, because you are going so much. I leave so sore, and I had a breakdown moment at the last Mickey's Not So Scary. I'm really hoping it doesn't happen for me tonight, but like my back was done that night of Mickey's Not So Scary, and like the line for it was late because I'm staying till the end of the party. I stayed until the end of the Villain Spectacular, so it was like 12:30, and then you get outside and the monorail line is just ridiculously long, and so I'm like, and it's taking forever, and like I'm in so much pain, and I felt really bad because this older couple, like I was talking about my back, and this older couple is like, we got on the monorail and she yelled at her husband. She's like, "No, you let her sit down because she hurts." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like, you guys are older than me, and I'm like, you're making your husband stand up because I hurt."
You know what? I will say along those lines.
But it's true. Like you
know what you do at Walt Disney World worse than anything? It's standing. It's not even how many steps you take. It is standing.
Yes.
Standing gets my back. It's not how many steps I take. If I'm moving, I'm okay. When I stand for a long time, like waiting for like fireworks or something, I'm done.
And that's what got me, because I was standing there for 20 minutes doing the Villain Spectacular show, and then I stood there earlier in the night for the fireworks. So like that's what got me. So yeah, I mean, that really is killer on you. So you need to have those recharge moments where you just stop, especially on those later nights, and the night before, just have a day in that time period. If you have a later night, sleep in the night before, have the resort day that day, or the night after that, because that way you have like that recharge day after a horrible long day at the park. So yeah,
it's not horrible. It's just
horrible, like horrible for your body.
Exactly.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
inside your body's like, what are you doing to me?
Exactly. Yes.
All right, so about out of time. So any other tips to make the most out of your day when you're not looking at a theme park? It's hard, like we've said many times. It's hard to plan this, but man, I think 9 times out of 10, when you do this, you're glad you did. No,
absolutely. Like I said, the best tip I can have for you is just do it. Just do a resort day. Like we said before, it's hard to want to do it. But when you just go ahead and have that resort day and know that you have it, it makes it so much better. Your trip is so much better. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, if you have a tip to make the most out of your resort day and stuff you've done in the past, maybe stuff you're planning for your next Walt Disney World vacation, let us know over on Facebook, facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. We'll put a thread up there for the weekend. We'll have some fun. I love this because I learned so much from you guys, and then we can share it on the show and we all have better trips. That's what this is really, really all about. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. So when it comes time for that next Disney adventure, whether it's Walt Disney World, Disneyland, sailing with Disney Cruise Line, even a special Adventures by Disney trip, drop by the magicforless.com and check out all the great specials. It's a great planning tool. Just start right there. We have resort guides. We even have the guides of what's going on at all the resorts, even over on the Mouse for Less as well, which is the associated site. So you can see all the special stuff you can do at your resort during your stay. It's awesome. But while you're over at the Magic for Less, fill out that free no obligation quote form and an agent will get back to you right away. And if you mention the Be Our Guest podcast, it'll probably be me, and we'll be planning a great vacation together. And I sure appreciate that. So check them out today over at the magicforless.com. Again, the holiday season quickly approaching. Please use our Amazon affiliate link early and often. Bookmark it on all your sites. It's very simple. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You get all your Prime benefits, cost you nothing extra, and help support everything we do throughout the year. So again, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Give us a follow on the social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Be Our Guest Mike and at Be Our Guest Pod. Rikki's at Rikki Ibs. So follow her this weekend as well. And the Facebook page, facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. All right. Subscribe wherever you listen to shows too. Don't forget. I keep forgetting to tell you that. Please subscribe. We're getting really, really close to a milestone I want to hit. So subscribe wherever you listen to the shows. All right. We're going to get out of here and let's get on with your weekend. Rikki's having more fun than me, but you know what? I get to talk to you guys over the weekend on social media. So, hey, we all win. So whatever you do, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. And for Rikki and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend again. Stay safe and have a lot of fun. And we'll see you real soon. Boom. That worked out.
Boom.
Now I get to go in the snow with my Jeep. Woo.
You have fun with that.
5, 6, 4. And we didn't have any flubs or anything too bad. So,
awesome. Oh, I don't think that exists anymore. Okay, we're going to take that out.
Len is ready for your Instagram.
What? Oh, got it. Perfect. Excited. Yes. It's going to be fun.
No pressure.
So, no pressure. I also need to share. So, my mom has been sending me old pictures of me from Walt Disney World. Mike Rallman, actually, she has been. And it's a fantastic picture, by the way, that I have of Mike Rallman
on social media.
I should actually, huh?
I give you permission.
Okay, all right. But no, she's actually been sending me old pictures from Walt Disney World, and I really want to post them, but she just took pictures of them and I kind of want to scan them in, but she didn't save them for me off to the side. So I'm going to have to go through them all to find them. So I'm thinking I might just post the pictures that she shared, even though so I'll have to do some cropping and stuff like that. But there's some pictures though that she sent me that are so very special to me that nobody is going to have. And there's a story behind it and you'll have to see it because I think I'm going to post them this week. You'll have to look on my Instagram for the story because it's something that nobody has pictures of. I can guarantee it. Hardly anybody. Huh?
I'm already stalking your Instagram.
You should, because hardly anybody is going to have these pictures. And it's something that's very, very, very special to me that happened. So anyway, back when I was a kid. So it happened when I was 4 or 5, somewhere around that. So anyway, just stalk my Instagram. I'm probably gonna post those at the very least. But I have some awesome other pictures too to post too. So by the way, if you're looking at those pictures, my hair is atrocious. I did not know how to use a comb or anything because I had curly hair, and I mean I still do, but I know what to do with it now. So I did not know what to do with it at the time.
You got to post the one of Guy Smiley walking in the parade.
Oh my gosh! Yes, Guy Smiley.
All in the tie. Student teaching with his big gut.
Oh my God! Oh, you were so cute, Mike. I was like, oh, look at cute little Mike when he was younger.
Neighborhood Halloween parade. Yeah, that was 98.
Look at his little Halloween tie.
I had a tie for every occasion back in the day.
Oh my God! I laughed really hard when she sent me that picture. I was like, is that Mike Rallman?
I'm like, yeah, this one's trying to get a job.
Anyway, all right. So look for my social media. You'll see a really cool story.
I will talk to you later.
All right.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for being here tonight. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.